Yo, yes, I'm still here. It's the same guy. I'm not going nowhere. This is my show. Well, actually it's like both ours, but we're gonna keep it at my house. On this episode, we're gonna talk about toxic love, purging your toxicity, the importance of owning your own music, and we're gonna actually get into some new music. So buckle up, man. We got a lot in store for you today. Let's come on.
When you come over, I'ma bend you over. Put hands on your shoulders, be my soldier. I'm your lieutenant, I hold you and drop dick like a boulder. No one colder. Everything I told you I was gonna do, I showed you. I smacked that, you look back and I spoke her. That fat cat got laughed at when it jumped back from this cobra. I smacked that again, you tapped the mat twice and it's over. Caps on the back of my shoulder, that's after flipping you over. Go crazy on my back after giving you rock candy and soda. I'm stroking and getting closer, she's saying can I have most of? I'm playing up in your ocean and I ain't even got a boat. I'm throwing my own parade and I ain't even got a float. She wet as a tidal wave and I'm about to dig a mo. She say she wanna get choked, so I went and bought a choker, long stroker. Treat her like an open fire, how I hit her with a poker. Iron Man, joker, flower, soaker like a fireman. Frying pan hot, give her back shots till her spine bend, blind and bright. We light up the night, I dive in. She arrive at 9:09, that's perfect timing. I'm in my Optimus Prime, Decepticon man. I'll read the pussy like a blind man with my hands, get it? I'm in awe, who needs a contraceptive? I'm in raw, praying to deities I've never seen before. Think I'm in rock, I'm in law, could never be good enough. You swear to God that we make love, but it looked like we fucked. The hotel got rid of us, it was pitiful. The service that they gave to us was minimal in a city where the people don't speak English, but we visit that and fuck anywhere. I bend you over, lift your skirt and grip your neck. Show you why they call me daddy and I ain't got no kitty shit. You told me I'd get you litty, I suck them titties and get that kitty wet. I like that neck real spitty, we in my city where I get busy at. You say I'm handsome, unless your man's a cancer, he is not a threat. You must have been a dancer in your past life when we first met. You can roll with me. You can roll with me, baby. I promise. And I will fight. Just take a ride. You can roll with me, and we will be. And I will fight. Just take a ride. Just take a ride. You can roll with me. Roll with me, baby. I promise you, I'll do nothing but treat you properly. I'll treat you like a real king is supposed to treat a real queen. You did. And we will be. I said you did. In our own fight, just take a ride. Robert Grant Jr.
For the record, Robert Grant, take one.
Man, how y'all doing, man? I got something special for y'all today. Got my dog Robert Grant Jr. in here with me today. This is gonna be another For the Record. Now we own the record. So let's just jump into it, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, brother. You know, it's nice to be back. Always a blessing and a pleasure.
Man, it's good to have you on this side. People don't know that, you know, you ain't new to this.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. I think the first thing I want to know from you and your perspective is how has music changed and influenced your life?
Well, I come from a performer family. My grandfather was a performer, my mother was a performer. My grandmother sung in church, you know what I mean? The whole family pretty much had some type of musical influence throughout my whole life. So music always been a part of me. But the way it changed me was when, you know, as you grow up, you try to solidify your status as a man, and you look for different avenues to do that, whether it be through financial status, whether it be through making yourself more educated or learning what's necessary in order to be successful by what you define as success. You start looking for things, right? So we all have natural talents, and music was always there, but I never really went to it when I was looking for what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So long story short, I started looking for passive income. And we all know that, you know, in 2020, you can put out your own music, you can run a label yourself, you can monetize yourself.
So I just started doing that, and in my mind, on small scale, even if I'm making pennies while I'm asleep, I'm making money while I sleep.
Exactly.
So when I started to look at music as not only something that I could use for enjoyment, but also something that I could profit off of, it changed everything.
Okay, so it was always music for you, or was it? Or did you grow
always.
up thinking or wanting to do other things?
Oh yeah, I didn't want to be a musician at all, but
Okay.
music just was always there. Like I was a businessman. When I was in high school, I was in ROTC. I was a part of an organization called Educated Young Males Against Drugs and Violence. If y'all from Glen Oaks or the 225, you might know about that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We used to do community marches, give out food, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Try to set a positive example for, you know, young men in the community.
Right.
So I always been on that. That's why the suits ain't nothing new to me.
And the
you
Sue
know.
Fresh, dog.
I
I can't let you go without letting you know the Sue Fresh, dog.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I've known to put on the suit, look pretty good, my damn
Hey,
self.
man, it's hard not to.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But 2020, well, it's 2022 now, but 2020, 2021 was big for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You dropped a lot of music. Let's kind of get into it. Let the people know, you know what I'm saying, the things that you got out right now that you put out that they can go and listen to as of now.
Well, right now, if you want to support me, if you want to support my cause and my team and my family, Free Thinkers, you can go to any streaming platform, whether you on, can we say the streaming platform?
Yeah, do your thing.
Whether you're on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, it don't matter. Pandora, whatever you listen to stuff on, we there. So it's Free Thinkers Incorporated, Thinkers with a Z. My name is Robert Grant Jr. You can search Robert Grant Jr. topic on YouTube, get you a whole playlist of all my music. I got a few videos out there from different productions that you could check out. We got lots of music, but go to any streaming platform, search Free Thinkers Incorporated to support the family, then go to any streaming platform and search Robert Grant Jr. to support me.
We got the Baton Rouge Wu-Tang, one member of the Baton Rouge Wu-Tang here.
Something like that.
If you listen to, if you was a part of season 1, which you should be if you here now, you know what I mean when I say that. You know where that come from. I'm gonna throw a curveball. You know, in the time that we living in right now, everybody is being classified or character. What's the word?
Categorized.
There we go. I can't talk. I cannot talk. I said it once before in another episode. I'm gonna fuck up at least once.
It should be the
That was my
libations.
one fuck up. So, everybody's being categorized in these days and time and ages and shit as either you toxic or you're not toxic.
Yeah.
So, for Robert Grant Jr., are you toxic?
I don't think anybody is toxic, but we all got toxicity in us. You know what I'm saying? If we all can sweat, that means we all got something in us that we can get out, whether that be through you sweating because you're mad, you sweating because you're passionate, or you sweating because you're going through it.
Right.
When you get that toxicity out of you, you always feel better afterwards. So like I think we all got toxic in us, but I don't think nobody 100% toxic. You can't be. Somebody love you. You love somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, would you think, or would you say that toxicity comes from the love?
Definitely. Because all of our emotions are connected, and to me, emotions come from a place that we can't really describe. Like nobody knows where emotions come from, but we all know that we all go through them.
Right.
So I feel like you get toxic when you put your emotions before the emotions of the people who you around and the people who you impacting. That's when it get toxic.
Okay.
But sometimes it's necessary. You may have been dealing with a family member or a loved one who's been transgressing against you consistently for a period of time.
Right.
And you've never said anything about it. You've never communicated it in any way. So they may not even know it's an issue. But once you get so much toxicity build up, you gonna sweat. It's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And when it come out, you feel better. And if it comes out in a way that's honest and you know, sometimes honesty hurt, but if it come out in a way that's honest, more times than not, you get some type of progression, you get some type of growth. And you know, I don't think you can really have growth without struggle, just like you can't have peace without a little toxic.
And see that brings us right on point to your song Toxic Love.
Yeah.
So let's speak about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's speak about that toxic love and speak about how, and you just kind of just touched on it, but how it's also something that's needed and something, you know, you kind of, I guess in certain circumstances you can kind of shy away from and not have.
Yeah.
So Explain to me, you know, the definition behind your song "Toxic Love."
Toxic Love came out recently at the end of 2020. You can go search that on all streaming platforms. It's Robert Grant Jr.'s Toxic Love featuring Uncle Soul. Uncle Soul is the newest member of Free Thinkers as well. That's probably the first time we ever said it. So, yeah, you know, shout out to Uncle Soul. That's the king, you know what I mean? Like a brother to me. But me and him made Toxic Love because we were in the studio one day and literally just listening to jazz instrumentals, man. And it was this horn on this instrumental. And we was like, bro, he ain't even have to say nothing.
Right.
And I ain't have to say nothing. We looked at each other and like, all right, I'm gonna write a verse, you write a verse. So I wrote my verse, he wrote his verse. And with me and Soul, it's kind of like we got a chemistry in the studio.
Okay.
We never really discussed what the song gonna be about. We just listen to the instrumental and write to what we feel.
Right.
But this particular song, it was like I was feeling in love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Soul was feeling toxic. So it kind of came together in a way where we kind of both got a little bit of toxic in what we saying, but it's both coming out of a place of love. And we realized that you really can't have one without the other. Because if you love somebody, you felt something or you tolerated something or you went through something with that person that makes you feel like, I don't really like this.
Right.
But that little bit of toxic don't take away from all the love.
Exactly.
So.
I'm trying to be strong, but it gets hard sometimes. Beautiful young queen, you look intelligent. I swear your smile is heaven sent. The sight of you alone to me is laced in benevolence. Your skin looks so soft, but you move so elegant. Excuse me if I'm drooling, but I'm grooving with your melanin. That's what I'm selling, and I'm telling you the truth. With us, there's no embellishing, I'm only relishing in you. Except that your intelligence, other fellas could never do. If you were to give me the opportunity to be exclusive with you, then we would manifest a beautiful human. And if you want, we can do it. This life, baby, it's more than just music. I'm a beast, baby, I'm more than just human. Robert Grant Jr. See, it's one thing for you to feel me, but it's another thing for you to feel me. You feel me?
Say this can't be what it should be, and it damn sure ain't what it could be, but it might be what excites me. The idea of this toxic love came upon, baby, so it's hard for me to express the way I think. I came apart, baby, you can tell by the words I use when I speak. I came apart, baby, and I can't hide the pain festered in me. I came apart, baby, so please don't you make this any harder on me. I came apart, baby, so it's hard for me to express the way I think. I came apart, baby, you can tell by the words I use when I speak. I came apart, baby, and I can't hide the pain festered in me. I came apart, baby, so please don't you make this any harder on me.
What makes Robert Grant Jr. not an average man?
I don't lie. And I know a lot of people say that, but if you've ever done business with me, if you've ever done anything that requires honesty, that requires integrity, or been around me when anything like that ever occurred, you would know. I'm gonna give you what you need to know. I'm gonna give you what you want to know.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you what I feel like you should know, so that we can have the best outcome.
Exactly.
I think what that also has an effect of doing, though, is you can figure out whether or not you're okay with my energy real quick, because it's genuine.
Right.
I don't have to, my relationships are efficient.
Okay.
Like, if I go to do a business venture with you and I introduce myself and we start talking and you don't like me, you're gonna know up front from the first conversation you don't like me. And there's no problem with that, because I'm human enough to understand not everybody gonna like you.
Yeah.
But if you do wanna do business with me, you have to absolutely know what you're getting, because whatever you tell me you're gonna give me for what I can do, I'ma absolutely require it, because I'ma fulfill what I say.
Right.
And I think that's what makes me unaverage, I guess you would say. But most of the time when people talk about or ask me about my lifestyle or what makes it different. They talk about the polygamy side of things. And I know that's like a hot button topic, but it's really not that big a deal. It's more like I'm building a family.
Right.
And everybody in my family loves each other. And nobody in my family hides anything from each other. But everybody in my family shares everything with each other. So we are what our people are supposed to be.
But see, this is my thing with it. And I think, because we were all raised on it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
What is wrong with not defining that village in the traditional sense? And I think that's what people like yourself, and I have some family members that practice polygamy as well. To be honest, it's not my business anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me to have a judgment or to prejudge based on something that has nothing to do with me in the first place, I'm automatically wrong. That's why I personally don't do it. If whatever makes you happy, that makes you happy, by all means, be happy.
And if it's productive,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it's also some situations out here where people just don't have, or feel like they don't have better options. But that's the beauty of being honest and communicating. Because all you really got to do is say what the truth is.
Right.
And if you with somebody who care about you, or even if you with somebody who don't care about you, you telling them the truth and you being your genuine self is always going to get you the best results, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. Honesty is the best policy, by all means.
That's a bar.
Yes. First thing though, because from our conversations and every conversation we've had, I think the first conversation you've ever had was about owning your own music.
Yes.
Why do you feel, and why is that such an important thing for artists today?
Okay, so I'm extremely passionate about ownership and art and business, period.
Right.
When it comes to music, I got into music because I was looking for passive income.
Okay.
And not to say that if it wasn't for me being able to make money off of my music, I wouldn't have, but that's the difference between when I wasn't making music on my own and when I was, is when I learned how to make it beneficial for me financially. And everybody has this dream that you want to be able to do something you love and have it not feel like work. But if you don't own your art, you're literally working for somebody.
Exactly.
Because the way that the music industry is set up right now, it's like a bank giving you a loan. It's like, I'm gonna give you $500,000 and you do this for me. But the process of you doing this for me, I'll pay for. But if you read a little further, it's being paid for out of the money that they gave you.
Right.
So like, let's just say a label offer you $1 million advance.
Okay.
They're gonna give you a certain budget for your wardrobe. They're gonna give you a certain budget for your travel. They're gonna give you a certain budget for your studio. They're gonna give you certain artists they want you to work with and pay for those sessions. Whether it's A-list, B-list, they're gonna get the producers that they want for you. They're gonna get everything that you think you want.
Right.
But they're paying for it out of the $1 million that they gave you. They gave you $1 million cash,
Right.
but they charging you for these other things that you're responsible for paying.
Right.
Now you don't probably know that because you probably ain't read the entire contract. They normally are between 8 to 16 pages. A lot of people ain't got the patience or the real understanding to be able to critically analyze the paperwork. But fortunately for myself, I've had the experience. I've had the experience of having a label offer me a substantial amount of money.
Yeah.
But simply reading the contract and being able to ask questions like, well, if I do this, or if I give you this, how long do you have it for? How long do you own it for? Do you want ownership? What do the splits look like?
Yeah.
Like, do I get points on this? And because most people don't even know what some of these terms are when I'm speaking like this, they wouldn't be able to even see that it's a problem.
Exactly.
But I also have a strong network. So
how hard is it and how important is it to be able to not get blinded by the dollar amount and understand being able to see the forest for the trees? Old saying.
I don't think it's hard at all in 2022, man. Like, we have multiple examples. We're in Louisiana, so we got the Hot Boys, we got Cash Money, we got Master P, and I'm pretty sure that everybody at this point has heard Solange say that. Heard on Solange albums when Master P said, if they offer me $1 million, I'm worth at least 10.
Right.
So if a company, if you lit enough, you got enough fan base, you getting enough streams, your social media popping up that a company willing to offer you any amount of money, they know that they can make their money back.
Yeah.
So why not just invest in yourself and continue to do what you're doing and get all of that profit without having to give away any of your ownership and retaining what really matters, which is the intellectual property that you created. And man, if they offer you enough money, bro, if you don't come from nothing, like you feel like you can change your family life, you feel like you can be the man. It's like, but they know that. It's like dangling a cat in front of your face. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They know that you're gonna run to get to the cat, but you don't realize that they holding the stick.
Right.
And not only are they holding the stick, they took the stick out your hand, and that's your carrot. Right. You know what I'm saying?
The whole time has been your carrot.
Yeah, it's 2022, man. We got Google, we got YouTube, we got people like Russ telling you what's going on, we got Joe Budden telling you what's happening. Like,
right.
All you really got to do is be willing to get more information. Because when you say we come from nothing, we really come from the greatest and the strongest and most creative people. The nothing part is the information. We come
Right.
from no information.
Exactly.
But the information ain't even hidden in the books no more.
I appreciate you breaking it down. I really do. I appreciate you breaking it down for the people that's hearing it and not understanding that we have everything that we need already. We just have to, because I know growing up you've heard the saying, if you want to hide anything from a black man, you put it in a
Hide
book.
it in a book.
You know what I'm saying? So I think us breaking that stigma or that stereotype down is important. And not, cause see, I think this is something that we could talk about all day.
Yeah, I'm passionate about our people.
But I don't, just getting away from that a little bit. I do want to ask you though, with the vibe that you set, what are some of your go-to love songs?
Oh man, I'm a D'Angelo fan. Like
I don't know why I thought that.
Music Soul Child, D'Angelo, John Legend. I could Tank one of my favorite R&B singers. I could name some songs, but let me see. Music Soul Child, it'll be Half Crazy. John Legend, it'll be Maxine from the Once Again album. D'Angelo, it'll be Spanish Joint from the Brown Sugar album. They might not know about that. I'm older than I look as well. Like, I know y'all think I'm about 22, but boy, I got decades under me.
They got to know Brown Sugar, man. Brown Sugar was like the best African-American, black, however you want to classify it, rom-com ever made.
Tank, I Can't Make You Love Me. That's my go when I feel like crying. You know what I'm saying?
When I feel like crying. Yeah. That's what's
I'll let 90s, early 2000 R&B classic.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. It's all right to cry. I cried in watching Lion King the first time. I don't mind saying it. It is what it is. I love my daddy. So, how does that feel? Just being able to be that raw emotion, show that raw emotion of shedding a tear and letting that inside, letting that out. Because most people, most men, thugs and that nature,
I'm not supposed to do it. I'm a man.
Hey, I like that answer.
But you said something real important, bro. You said you cried when you first saw Lion King because you love your father. Like, I don't want that to be skipped over. I love my father as well. I talk to my father every day. And my father is a big proponent of emotional intelligence.
Right.
That's why I'm so in tune with my emotions. We reach them emotional roadblocks as people. I was gonna say as men, but as people. Sometimes you get to a point where you want to be happy, so you might turn on a comedy, or you know what I'm saying. You might want to be excited, so you turn on some crunk music.
Right.
Sometimes I want to cry, so I get in my truck. You know what I'm saying? Put something nice on, maybe some Tank, some D'Angelo, some Music Soul Child, and I just let it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And if it is, I'm cool with it.
And I'm about to say, I definitely don't think that anything's wrong with it. And I definitely agree with you. If somebody thinks that something is wrong with purging your emotional bank, something wrong with them.
Yeah,
maybe they need to purge their emotional bank.
That's that toxicity buildup.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you don't just let it out sometime, you might end up taking that out on somebody you love. And we don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think people, I think we get pigeonholed in this image that is portrayed not only for us but by us.
And that's all right. So back to what makes me not an average man, and it just me being telling the truth. Mm-hmm. You pretending like you ain't feeling that, King.
Exactly.
Like we all human. I know we all human. If you don't feel nothing, you ain't human. And if you telling me you ain't human, nah, you just a liar.
Right.
Because there's no way you can have ever felt hurt, sadness, loneliness, or betrayal and not be able to understand what a person going through when you exhibit those things to them. Like, you know this. And if you acting like you don't, you just lying to yourself.
Exactly.
And that's worse than lying to anybody else.
Right, because you're the only person that got to deal with that lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're the only person that got to live with that. You're the only person that got that before you go to sleep, you got to take account that you wasn't real to somebody.
Yeah.
And you you wasn't real to yourself.
And man, it's so easy to just take a minute, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and just sit down and think, even if you just in silence, you know what I'm saying? Think about how you feel. Go over it in your mind. Why do you feel this way? What could you do to not feel this way in the future? Like, was it an individual situation? Are you having a moment? Like, all of these things matter, but if you try to treat it like, oh, it's just this or it's just that, and it's not significant, man, it's your life. It's what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your time is more important than any money you'll get, any assets you'll ever attain. And if your time with yourself ain't valuable, you ain't living a valuable life, in my opinion.
No, that's real. This has been amazing, dog. It's always good to tap in with you, talk to you. I'm gonna have to hit you up on that gym shit, like for real. And we'll go from there, man. Like I said, it's Robert Grant Jr. This is For the Record. I'm JP. We out.
Thank y'all. Oh, hello there. Salutations, Gallivanters. I'm Robert Grant Jr. I am on the record with For the Record at nextsteptv.com. Peace.
My mother declared every man for himself when I was about 13. And what that means is that night everybody had to find something to eat for theyself. It was her, my little brother, and myself. I was hurt cause my father had done left. I was happy Melvin was in jail. He was in a cell, I was catching sales. At Bluegrass Park, it was mad dark, moving like Gary the Snail. Get my package, unwrap it, then put it on the scale. To get the cream, hustle was everything. Was in the paper for selling pies. Time I saw it and screamed like, God, she hit the high note just like that. And it was the sweetest sound. Come in the city, in his own city, to see my sweetest smile. We used to dose for hours, I talk, but she just listen now. Shit is different now. All these memories you missing out on, but they make me wanna crown this songs. But I won't stop, I'm gonna be strong. Cause in your family, your memory lives on. Buzz Lightyear, we love you into infinity and beyond. Looking at baby shoes and I see a smile on your face, telling me that I gotta keep going.
This is probably the most important question I'm gonna ask today. What is success to Robert Grant Jr.?
Success is simply being better than you were yesterday every day.